and taking you guys along for the ride, taking videos so we can see the progression of what we are working on, and you guys can see it as well. Giving you guys a bit of a rundown of what we're doing. We are growing food in our garden. We are removing all of the grass from the backyard, and we are putting in gardens, and a nice entertainment area is going to go where the trampoline is, so we can have a fire here and we can enjoy the weekends, the weather that we get here in Southeast Queensland. I appreciate you being here and I appreciate the likes. We will be having a look around the garden. We have bees as pets. We have native Australian stingless bees. We also have European honeybees. They are actually, why don't we just hop up and we will go for a walk over and have a look around. Grab a drink, sit back, just gonna listen to some birds, have a chat, talk about the garden, the weather, anything else that you guys want to have a chat about. Jump into the comments and let me know. The Australian native bees do go to bed earlier than the European honeybees, so they've actually already gone to bed. The wax on the outside of this hive is the entrance from the old hive that we rescued them from. They were in a bird breeding box. We've moved them across to this hive. This hive's called an oath. It is Australian designed and it's nice. It's a bit like the European bees, that it's not this standard, but lots of the hives are made to this size. So once a year, when we can split the hive, you can sort of buy a hive from any manufacturer, anybody that makes the hives. It's not really a commercial style. It's more just local people who build the hives. There's lots of different little tweaks and stuff that people make with them, but most of them are all the same size, so you can buy from one, split with the hive from somebody else. We have European honeybees. We'll go for a walk up there. They will still be out. The sun has gone over the horizon here in Southeast Queensland, but it's been a beautiful day. Warm but not too hot. No clouds in the sky. Not sure how the birds come through on the microphone, but we have lots of birds out in the back, out in the bush. Sam, do I have blackberry? No, I don't. I think blackberry is more of a cold climate plant. I will be looking into it though. We're getting rid of all of this grass here and putting in gardens, and we're going to have a few big pots that are going to have things like blueberries, raspberries, just some plants that they can have their whole area. If there's any difference in soil conditions or anything like that, we can make each pot specific for that plant. So I will have a look into blackberries, but I currently don't have any. We will come up here to the European honeybees. If you've been here for any of our other lives, these bees were a swarm that we collected from a property not too far from our house. They are quieting down for the night, but there's still a few coming and going. I've always said that I've always been talking about them as a swarm, but I feel like I need to sort of talk about them as a hive. They've outgrown their nucleus hive, which has the 5 frames of honeycomb or brood comb in them. I've transferred them now over to a full-size brood box, 10 frames, and once they've filled 7-ish, I will add a honey super on top. So I'd say within the next month we will be adding a honey super They've only really got to fill up another 2 frames before that happens. And they still they've been working extremely fast. We've had some good rain here. The flowers are on. We have a nice flow of nectar and pollen coming into the hive. So if you want to see anything about the bees, we actually put up the video today, or if it's not up yet, it will be soon, of the bees getting put over into the new hive. It was nice, lots of bees flying around. Bees are a lot gentler, well, some bees are a lot more gentle than people give them credit for. So I don't need to wear protection with these bees. I do just use a little bit of smoke and they can get moved around. We'll head back down towards the garden. Sam, how about strawberry? I do have strawberry. I've only got a few. So what we've done is this year, we've changed the way we're doing our gardening. Generally, we would plant everything at the start of spring. Then halfway through summer, everything's ready to harvest. We would harvest everything. Then the gardens would just be empty for the rest of the year. This year, we have changed that, and we're leaving gaps in the garden that we will be planting every month. There will be new stuff growing in the garden, harvesting what we can. When the plants are finished, we will pull them out, keep the seeds, replant them when the next growing season for that type of fruit is, and we will continue on. So the strawberry plants that I have at the moment, I've only got 4 of them, and I have got them realistically just for the runners. So these here are the strawberry plants. So making sure they are a strawberry that we like, we will collect the runners that come off it, replant them, re-root them, and we will save them for next year. We will give them a whole section in the garden. So this year we've cut off the first lot of flowers from each plant, give it a bit more time to put some energy into growing. There are a few flowers that we are keeping. You know, it's always nice to pick a little strawberry when you can. This one here I think I'll leave for my daughter tomorrow. But they are struggling. It's a little bit too hot for them at the moment. But for what we're doing with them, they will work well. Each year, when you plant your own plants again, they climatize to your specific little area, microclimate, and you will get a better harvest each year. You will plant the plants, the strong ones will survive, the weak ones you'll get rid of, or cull them out, they won't survive, the pests will take it, and then what's left over the seeds come from the strongest plant, or the cuttings or the pops off a strawberry plant, slips from sweet potatoes. You will get stronger plants for your area. So as you can see, in sections like this, it is quite empty. After that, we will be filling them up. We have a whole lot of seedlings going at the moment, so we can have some stuff to plant in December. But we'll take you guys for a bit of a walk through the garden so you can see everything. I'll tell you what we have and what we're going to be doing. So this end here, we have a passion fruit vine, which this is the 2nd year. We've cut it back extremely hard from last year. It actually grew and completely covered the whole section here that has a roof. It hung all the way down to about this high, so it completely enclosed the garden. And as I was saying before, we let the garden go over winter most years. This year we've changed it. We'll be going straight through winter as well. But yeah, so now the passion fruit vine, it looks like it's in a pot, but it's actually gone into the ground. So we're going to be building a trellis on this panel of fence here, well, just off that panel of fence, so it's not connected. And that's where the passion fruit will go. We will keep it a lot more contained than last year, so we probably won't get as many passion fruit, but we'll be able to grow a lot more stuff through the garden. As we go back into the garden, we have spaghetti squash, which is a plant that I haven't actually tried before, but it looked interesting. This one was a discount at the local Bunnings in Australia, at Harvest, or the main one anyway is called Bunnings. I've brought it home, planted it, got some new growth. I've trimmed off all the old stuff, and it's now looking really nice. And then the only other thing in this section is inside here. It is ginger. We I got some ginger from just the grocery store. Found one that has little eyes on it. Looks like it could be where the roots will come out. Soaked it in water for 24 hours to remove any growth inhibitors. Then we half covered it and soaked it for another 24 hours in water to rehydrate it. I planted it quite shallow into the soil, so it's only a centimetre or so covering the piece of ginger, the rind zone, and then given it a really good cover with mulch, and it's nice and watered in. It's nice in damp soil there. We don't want it to be too wet, otherwise it could rot before it before it starts putting out roots and foot leaves. It's been in there for 1 week. I'm hoping within the next 2 or 3 weeks we will start seeing some growth from it. It's hard because you'd love to dig it up and have a look, but I think doing that you would damage it more than we get just leaving it out here. These are king purple beans. I thought before this video, well, I didn't think before this video, I actually picked them all and ate them. All the ones that were ready and all the ones that were purple. I should have left some on. Have a bit of a look around. There are some small ones that are only just starting to turn purple. They come out green and then they go purple as they get bigger. So if we have a look in here, these are the tiny little ones that are coming out green. They will grow. The ones I've been picking are about twice that size, and they are purple. You can eat them raw, which is what we have been doing at the moment. When you cook them, they turn back green, I have been told, but we have hundreds and hundreds of flowers. They are everywhere. So over the coming weeks, we are going to be inundated with beans, which is not a problem because we all enjoy eating them here. Big T, I like to set up a lot of space. Thank you very much. Yeah, we have plenty of space. Let's have a look. You should also grow grapevine. I actually have a grapevine. I'll show you the space in a minute, but we will turn around to the grapevine here. It's only a first-year grapevine. It is a seedless white table grape. So we will be setting that up. We'll be growing it on this timber here as a trellis. And I've grown grapes in the past, so they take a little while to set up. We're going to be running 3 main trunks, one on the top rail. We're going to skip a rail, one on the next rail, skip a rail, one on the third rail. So the first year we're going to go up to the top, cut the top off it where it splits. We will start training it out left and right. If we can, we will get one on this one and one on this one. We should get it to the top this year. If we don't get all of the trunks going out, they'll come next year. And then hopefully we can get some grapes next year. It'd be really nice to get some this year, but I don't think we will. So a bit of a time invested before we start getting the grapes from the plant, but it's something that you've got to get it in. You know, best time to grow it would have been 5 years ago. Next best time's today. So we do have the grapevine, and I'm very excited for how that one's going to go. Big T, back to a lot of space. So our backyard is predominantly grass. Sort of a bit of a view of most of it there. You guys don't need to see up under the cover up there, but it's all getting removed. All of the grass is getting removed, and we will be putting in gardens for food, some walkways, and we're going to set up a nice entertainment area with a fire pit. So we are going to end up with about 5 times as much garden as we currently have, which I think at the moment is 17 square meters in this section. We're going to end up with enough garden space that we can grow pretty much all of our food. We're under no illusion that we're going to be able to grow all of it. We're still going to have to get stuff from the shops, but the food you grow yourself is so much nicer in flavor. You know where it's come from. You know what's been put into it. So we're aiming for the majority of our food to come from our own garden. We will keep working down the garden. We were at the beans, and we will move over to this one here, which is a long yellow sweet capsicum. So, bit of a, I don't want to pull on it, I hate to snap it off. There is 1 and 2 growing, but there is another bunch of flowers here. Everything in the garden except for the lemon plant, which is further down, was all this first year. So really the first year we're doing is setting up the garden for the coming times. We'll still be getting a nice harvest. We'll still be able to eat plenty of food. But plants like the capsicum, they will grow for continuous years. Just trim them back after the growing season. Next year they'll come back bigger, stronger, more harvest, more used to the area. Things like the coriander plant here, or depending where you're from, it's also called cilantro, has gone to seed. That was a really nice one. It grew really well here. So we will be collecting the seeds for next time once it cools down a little bit again. And behind that one is a bushing tomato. There is heaps and heaps of tomatoes on there. It's very bushy, so they're going to be a bit hard to see, but there's plenty of tomatoes. The more you look into it, the more you see. That one only grows, that's about full size, but I would say there would be more than 50 tomatoes on it. So I have trellis, I've put a tomato trellis around it to protect the leaves from getting down onto the ground with the weight of the tomatoes. So I did have one that was already starting to turn red, but a bug has got into it, so I've chopped it off. Disappointing to miss the first one, but we'll keep an eye on the rest, and if it gets worse, we will bag them, net them, get rid of the pests somehow. What do we got? Sam, is it morning for you? No, it's currently evening. The sun's gone down over the horizon. We are in southeast Queensland, Australia. It is currently 6:13 p.m. I live in tropical climate. For me, I need to force grapes to flower because there's no winter. Okay, I'll have to look into them a bit further because I'm pretty sure they grow here fine. We're subtropical. We do have some cold days. We can still grow straight through winter. We barely get a frost, so we will see. I'll have to see. Realistically, I'm not expecting grapes for a couple of years anyway, so plenty of time to look into it and see how it goes. All right, we'll move on a little bit past the sorry, just reading some comments. What do we got? Big T, yeah, they're looking good for someone just starting. What you recommend growing? No luck yet from Aussies also. I like the staples, like the things that are pretty easy to grow that you're gonna eat. I would go tomatoes and corn. It's too late now in Australia, but lettuce is really easy to grow. Just some things that are easy to start with. Realistically, you think spring would be the perfect time to start growing. We're halfway through spring, so it's actually probably a little bit too late to start growing, except for really hot things. Although it depends whereabouts in Australia you're from, I guess. What were you thinking that you've buried too deep, Big T? We will continue down here. We have the leafy greens. This is rocket across the front. It will grow through our hot temperatures. Behind it is loose leaf lettuce. They will not grow through the hot times. They have started to bolt, which means they're going to seed. There's a few that I really liked the flavor of, and there's some that I didn't. So I'll keep the ones that I did like. And as the flowers come from the ones I didn't, I will chop them off to stop them going to seed, because I don't want them to self-seed and germinate again next year. I would prefer flavors that I do really like, which is the whole plan of this first year of gardening. Keep in the stuff that I do, collect the seeds or however you propagate that plant, and then get rid of the ones that I don't. So every year the garden gets better and better, stronger and stronger. Behind it is cucumbers. We have 2 cucumber plants in here. They're the same type and they were planted the same day. But look at how small this one is. And this one here is the same plant, or same type of plant, planted the same day, and they were about the same size. Go back a little bit so you can see the difference. It is crazy that that plant and that plant were the same. It's just interesting to see. Perth, so you would be pretty hot over there, I'm guessing. The lettuce and cucumber not coming up, so I tried replanting them. Okay, but yeah, interesting. I'm not sure. So the plan that we're having here is, well, my plan with this garden is to, we're going to overplant compared to what's recommended on the packet. What's your favorite? I probably don't really have maybe corn. I think just you can eat it straight from the bush or straight from the plant, or you can cook it up in 1,000 different ways. I do really like corn, so I'd say corn. I have some corn planted down a bit further. We'll get to that soon, but I think I have 4 different varieties to plant, so I need to plant them one after the other instead of all together, because I don't want them cross-pollinating and ruining each other, but I want to pick which one's the nicest to collect the seeds for next year. So after the loose leaf lettuce, we have capsicum again. This one's called Chinese Giant. This plant was ravaged by pests. Every leaf was gone. I have put on some natural spray. I think it was pyrethrum, and it has been working. I will probably reapply it, and hopefully we can get some nice fruit off this one. But again, it's there just to grow bigger for next year. Make sure I like the flavor. So we need at least a couple of them to get the harvest today, this year. If it's not nice, I'm not too worried. I will cut it out and we'll find another one that I do like. So rather than planting once, harvesting once, and the garden being finished, we are working on long-term food. So every plant that we plant, we enjoy eating rather than just growing it because we can. This section here, we have some onions. We've planted them too late in the season, but you can use onion at any time. We've used some of the greens instead of shallots. You have the onions which are starting to bulb at the bottom there. You can pick them now as baby onions, use them like spring onion, shallot type onions. We'll just let them keep growing and to get them as big as we can. Once the leaves start to die, we will harvest all of it. Excuse me. And we've got more seedlings going to fill those spots. The cucumber, some herbs. We've got lots of parsley growing. It is a favorite of my wife and daughter. They come out and eat it every day, so 1 or 2 plants isn't enough. It seems to be growing all over the place. We have some thyme and some garlic chives within the back there. If I was to plant garlic chives again, I would probably plant them in a pot. They do grow quite big and start taking over. You've got to keep digging them up and removing most of the pile. They will grow all year round. They're really good in the subtropical climate we have here. But they'll grow through anything, so I'm not worried that they're getting covered over by the cucumber. They will still be there once the cucumber's finished. We'll keep moving down. This is an indeterminate type of tomato, which just means that it will continue growing. It doesn't have a height like the tomato over here does. And we have it clipped on, you can see some clips here, clipped onto some paracord, which goes up to the top there. Once the tomato reaches the top, instead of having to cut it off and that's the final height, and any future fruit won't be growing, we can just lower it down. It will put a lean or a bow in the bottom of the stems. We'll cut off all the leaves and we'll just be able to keep growing it up and keep harvesting for the whole season. I haven't done it before, but so far it's working well. I was hoping by the time it reached the top that the bottom fruit was going to be finished, I don't think it's going to be. It's growing way too fast. So I'll just remove any leaves that are getting close to the ground when I lower it down. So that's an interesting little trial that we're doing there. Once it's finished, I'll put a video together of different stages of growth and how I liked it, and if I think I'll grow them like that again. So far, I'm liking it, so we'll see how that ends up. If you wanted to see anything like that or anything else that we're doing in the backyard, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. We're just a small YouTube channel here in Southeast Queensland. This one here is zucchini. It will be growing in this whole area. We will just continue moving it around in a circle as it grows. Remove the old leaves, new growth will come out at the end, and we should be able to harvest. As long as you keep harvesting, it keeps growing, so we should get lots and lots out of that one. I generally only plant one, so it's got a lot of nice area. We're going to fill up a lot more of these garden beds with the seedlings that we have going at the moment. Ideally, eventually, the whole garden will be overstocked. I think when you buy seeds on the back of the packet, that's more for like a farmer to grow it rather than a person to grow it in their own house or their own garden, because the soil's a lot better. Well, as long as you look after your soil, the soil's a lot better. The harvesting's a lot easier. It's not a machine harvest. You're going in and individually cutting each plant. But we will continue along. After the zucchini, we have beetroot down the bottom. I have lots more beetroot coming up in seed, and we will continue planting beetroot. It grows all year, and it is delicious. This one is an orange tree, and it will have its own spot out in the yard. When the grass is gone and the paths and gardens are built, there will be a bunch of pots for plants like the orange tree. There will be blueberries, raspberries, things like that, that we can change the soil conditions in individual pots for what plant we want to grow in them. And we get down to the corn. The corn here is getting pollinated. If you didn't know, corn starts growing silks, which are these white, light green things that come out the top of the corn. Every one of those strings is connected to one kernel of corn. Once they get pollinated, which is from these here, these have pollen in them, they fall down and hit one of the silks. Once the silk is hit, it dies, and that is one kernel of corn being pollinated and will grow in. Once the silks have all died and become crispy, that's a good way of telling that your cob of corn is basically ready to pick. You can feel through it, have a look at it and make sure it looks about the right size. If you haven't grown those ones before, you can open up a cob once you think they're done, and you have a really good idea for the rest of the cobs of corn that are on there. So that's nice, a nice way of doing corn. It's a plant that we all eat so much, but lots of people just don't know how it grows. How long have I been growing? This corn here is being planted for 6 weeks, 5 weeks. That was from seedling, not from seed. So probably another 2 weeks before that. So I'd say from seed, it's about 8 weeks old. Corn grows extremely fast. Give it as much sun as you can, nice hot weather, keep up the water to it, and it grows crazy. After the corn is a lemon tree, and after the lemon tree is the pumpkin. This one is called Australian Blue. I have just covered an old concrete slab that had a garden shed on it and using it as the pumpkin patch. I'll get another bale of straw to put over in the back there, but at the moment the pumpkin's growing really well. I've kept it up off the grass and out of the rest of the garden, be able to use as much of the garden for growing more food as I can, and just using some of the concrete as a growing pad so we can get more grown in the same amount of room. Over in the back there is sweet potato. That's only one sweet potato plant. Generally in a pot about that size I would probably put about 5, but we didn't have any sweet potato, so We've bought one. We will take some slips, which is just the end of the vine. You cut it off, cut some of the bottom leaves off, put it in water, and it will grow new roots, and then you plant them out, and that's how you remake sweet potato plants. They don't grow from the potatoes. Well, the slips will grow, but you won't grow more potatoes from a potato on a sweet potato like you do with a standard potato. That's a lot of potatoes. So we will get some more slips growing. After the harvest, we will check that we like the flavor of that one. And if we do, we will replant the slips. They will grow all year round here. And just pull them out, rejuvenate the soil, put in some fertilizer, make it nice and loose, and plant again. And we'll just have an ongoing rotation crop of sweet potatoes. We will get some more pots for your normal potatoes as well. We put them in the pots just so they're easier to harvest. The next pot over is lemongrass, and that is an Asian herb. The reason that I've planted that one in a pot, and I think everybody probably should, is it is a grass and it will just take over. Just keeps putting up new shoots beside the old ones, and we will let it fill out the pot. We'll pick it in the middle. You can take it at any time, harvest a piece and use it. But once it fills the pot, we will remove the whole lot, plant a few of the new shoots back into the middle once we've rejuvenated the soil, and prepare what we've harvested, share it around, freeze some for if we need it, which we generally don't because you can harvest it at any time. So we'll just share around as much of that as we can. If you know somebody with a lemongrass plant and you want some lemongrass, just talk to them. I'm sure they'd be happy to pull a couple of the shoots out of the side and give them to you. We will continue around this way. There was a video on our compost. We've worked out that this compost bin here is completely free for us. Depending on where your council is, you might get the same. So jump on our page and have a look at that video. Up here is the European honeybees. I think they've gone to bed. Just having a quick look, see if any are flying in and out. Well, there's still a couple in there. Let me go back to normal zoom. We will walk up here. I thought they would have. It's quite dark here. The camera is doing a really good job of showing you guys the light. Yeah, they've almost all gone to bed. So we've just moved them from a nucleus hive up to a proper full-size hive. We've just put a video up today, or if it's not up, it will be shortly. Jump onto our page and have a look at that one if you're interested in the bees. Coming back around. The sun is completely gone now. This is an Australian native stingless beehive. Those bees go to bed much earlier, so they are well and truly closed shop for the night. But they're another pollinator that work really well in our garden. There's some videos on those as well. Alright guys, it's getting a little bit dark here at the moment to keep showing you guys what's going on. But anybody wanted to chat, jump on, throw in a comment, let me know what you guys are up to, where you're from. We are from Southeast Queensland. We are a new YouTube channel that are doing gardening, changing our backyard, showing you guys what we can harvest. We have our gardens. We have lots more gardens planned. We have a spot where the chickens will be. They are coming as well. We have European honeybees. We have Australian native stingless bees. We have composting worms that are not your standard red wigglers, but they are African night crawlers, which we breed for fishing. They are kept indoors because the temperature here is too hot for them. I haven't actually done a video on the worms yet, so we'll get to them eventually once I have some spare time. If that's something that you're interested in seeing, just pop it into a comment on any of our videos. and I will see the comments. I will try my best to reply to everybody that put in the time to talk to us. If you could hit the subscribe button, it would mean a great deal to us at the moment. We're trying to grow our channel. My next door neighbor's dog, sorry about that. Yeah, we're trying to grow our channel. We are doing whatever we can. We're going to, the idea is that we are going to get the majority of our food from our own backyard. We're under no illusion that we're not going to get all of it. I like to keep, I'm interested, always good to see Aussie content. Fantastic, thank you very much. Big T, you said you were from Australia as well, over in Perth. I'm glad to have you. I'm happy to have you here. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to head off and finish up the night here. The page is Aussie Backyard Harvest. My name is Jay, and this is our backyard. Hope you guys have a great day.